Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in amma ba'd. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Qala rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa halul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma arina al-haqqa haqqan warzuqna ittiba'ahu wa arina al-batilan batilan warzuqna ijtinaba. Ameen ya rabbal alamin. Dear Sama'in, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I welcome all of you with the Islamic greeting. Peace be on all of you. Our today's topic is how to approach the Holy Quran. That is, there are three parts to this. One is how we are currently approaching the Holy Quran. We, in the sense, is like those who read the Quran, basically, and who believe that it is the word of the God. And what is Quran guiding us, how to approach it, and the conclusion. What is the takeaway? What we should do, and how we should approach the Holy Quran. That is what we are looking forward to, inshallah. So, may Allah help all of us to listen to this and also implement it in our life, inshallah. So, the very first thing I would like to know and would like to inform is that do we have any uh, non-Muslim hearing to us in this? I would appreciate if we can confirm. Okay. So now the very first thing we have here is that uh, Quran is the only proven source to learn the purpose of our life. Why it is only word is used is that of all the sacred scripture that is available today on planet, Quran is the only uh, sacred text that's available in its original language of revelation in its entirety. Most of the sacred texts that do talk about God as the creator, sustainer, and cherisher of the universe, in the language that it was revealed to mankind, they are not available in its original form or in its entirety, basically. And the language that it was revealed to is not a common language and not spoken by the believers of the language, most of them. So now when we say it's the only proven source to learn the purpose of life, is that when we say purpose of life means what is the beginning and what is the end? Why are we here? What happens when we die? And how should we live our life? So if it is connected to human beings, then we can see that there's in as many communities, as many civilization, and as many culture, as many different way of life and different purposes of life. But when we say in a divine way, when we say believe in God, then that belief brings a purpose in life. So this is the only proven source. That's one thing. Secondly, it carries the ability to create revolution. So what is Quran? What it did, we already know from documented history that how it brought revolution in all the ages from the time it was revealed in the 7th century, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, till 12th century and thereafter until date. How it brought revolution in, first of all, in Arabia, where the people, the historical data says that they had no civilization as such, which was, known. But when Quran was revealed, within a period of 50 years to 100 years, they came out from that with the message of the Quran, and they almost brought revolution in almost so many things. So many, they went out and they conquered the superpowers. They conquered the superpowers. And what they established was justice. And it brought revolution in almost all the field, from literature to science to innovations in different areas of human life. So we read that. We have been reading all those things. But basically now we need to see, is that knowledge bringing any change in our life? If not, is our approach towards the Quran a different approach? This is what we are trying to learn through today's dars, or today's speech that we are trying to uh, imbibe with us. So, one question is there: would you read a book without understanding it? The very obvious question is that no, nobody reads a book without understanding it. Anything, any book, science, maths, physics, chemistry, history, geography, no one reads the book without understanding it. But the what do you say in we call it in Arabic and Urdu almiya, like the tragedy is that uh, there are 2 billion Muslims, and most of them, if we not say 1.5 billion of them, they read the book without understanding, and the only argument or excuse they have that Arabic is not our language. Like those who are non-Arab, they say Arabic is not our language. But whatever language they speak or they learn when they go to school and colleges, those languages they learn from the womb of their mother? No. All of us, we learned the mother tongue, we learned English, we learned the language. Like I am from India, Maharashtra is a state. We have a state language, we have a national language, we have this English language, and I have a mother tongue. So I learned four languages and I spent almost 12, 15 years speaking in that language, reading, writing, understanding. But what with Quran, what happens is that we psychologically, or the system is like that, we say that it's a holy book. You read the alphabet, you know the vowels, you know how to read it. Okay. But understanding, it was left. And this has happened in almost all the globally, this phenomena is there, that, and again, coming to Quranic Arabic, it's a classical Arabic. So even if somebody knows to read it, he must know how to understand it. And it doesn't take $1 million, it doesn't take years and years. The language, as I'm speaking in English, and you are able to understand it because you have that vocabulary. Or what I'm speaking, that vocabulary is with you in your mother tongue or in a different language that you know. And that's why you're able to understand what I'm saying right now. So what we are saying, that we are talking of a book which gives us purpose. We are talking of a book which brought revolution. We are talking about a book that we read day in and day out. We listen to it in our salah, and still we do one injustice to it, that we do not understand or approach the Holy Quran the way it should have been done. Now, our approach. What is our approach? So, one of the authentic hadith is saying that the Prophet said, Alif Lam Mim is a letter, is like Alif is a letter, and Lam is a letter, and Mim is a letter. All three of them are separate one letter. Now, these are called Huruf Muqatta'at. We know that several surahs begins with these letters. Okay? Uh, Yasin, Qaf, Alif, Lam, Mim. But what is the hadith saying? That when we recite these letters, we get, for recitation, every recitation we get 10 rewards. Every recitation we get 10 rewards. Okay. So as many time we recite the Quran, as many alphabets we are reciting, we are getting 10 rewards each. But what has happened is that these multitudes of rewards, we basically, our approach is that when I read the Quran, I get sawab, I get rewards. And then it is a pure word of God, no interpolation, no concoction, no addition, no subtraction, no version. It is divine, and it was revealed to the Prophet and it reached me, and it's really pure, and I need to keep it wrapped up at a high place. Okay. And most of the Hafiz of the Quran who are non-Arabic speaking Hafiz, millions of them, they end up memorizing it and reciting it for the sawab, or to recite to others so that they listen in Taraweeh or in Ramadan, like that. But what happens is that basically it is all about reward. But is this approach correct? Let's see from the Quran whether this approach is correct, just to recite it for sawab. Now, Quran is, what is Quran calling us? Quran is saying, Ya ayyuhan nas. So as you see, there's an image of a men and a women. So Quran is basically when it was in Surah Baqarah, uh, before the ayats of Ramadan, it starts with the ayats of Psalm, fasting. It starts with this, and it says that Shahru Ramadan alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran hudal lin nas. It very clearly says that Ramadan was the month in which Quran was revealed as a guidance for mankind. And this is one of the place where the mankind is addressed in Surah Yunus, where it says, Ya ayyuhannas, O mankind, qad ja'atkum maw'izatum min rabbikum. Already, qad is already, this already happened, that a mu'iza. What is a mu'iza? Mu'iza is a speech, a word that touches your heart. You know, you go through internet, we serve so many things. There are so many people writing so many philosophical things, and we get some quotes which really touch our heart. Here, the creator of heavens and the earth is saying, O mankind, already has come to you something which is mu'iza, which will touch your heart. Mir Rabbikum, from Rabb. So even somebody who says, who does not believe in God, who does not believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as one true God, must know that there's only one God, is Rabb. The very first thing is that the one who creates, sustains, and cherishes. So when you say Rabb, Allah is Rabb, that Rabb is something which is, connecting the slave and the master. Here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying it already comes to you from your master, something which touches your heart. Was shifaul mafis sudur. It does not even, it's only, it does not touches your heart, but it is also healing for whatever is in the chest, in the breast. What we have: love, hatred, animosity, ignorance, doubt, hypocrisy, so many illness. Our heart is not that the physical heart with that illness, it's also that spiritual heart with those illnesses of ignorance, of doubt, of animosity, of hatred, of grudge, basically. So Quran is saying, the Rabb is saying, the Creator is saying, O mankind, there has come to you from your Master something which is healing for all these amras, for all these diseases of the heart. Also, were and hudam wa rahmatan lil mu'minin. It's a guidance and a mercy for those who believe. It's a guidance and a mercy for those who believe. For mankind, it is a mu'iza, a thing which touches their heart. I have seen this, we have experimented. We see this even on the internet. We see this, that when Quran is recited to people, those who have not heard it, it really touches them. It touches their heart. They feel so the soothing effect of the Quran. Now, Quran is saying that it is not only that it is a healing for your heart, but it is also a guidance and a mercy for those who believe. Hudallil Mu'mineen. Believer is the one who believes, if his belief is in this ghaib, Ghaib in one word can be defined as things beyond human perception. Things, so believer believes in things which is beyond his perception, beyond his human mind. And that the very first thing is God, then angels, and then heaven and the hell, and all that Quran talks about. So those who believe with this kind of belief that there are things which is beyond human perception, and then Quran is very clear to them for guidance. So our approach to the Quran should be that it should be healing for me, it should be guidance for me, and it should be mercy for me if I believe in it and I act upon it. Then the Quran says, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Like if one of my friend is going and I was talking to him, or he was in discussion with me or something like that, and like now there's some conclusion point and he's going away without taking the conclusion, I would call him, excuse me, come back, there's something I need to tell. This فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ is like, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? Like the Ramadan passes, we are dipped in the Quran 30 days, listening, reciting, standing, bowing, prostration. We are there all the time. We are surrounded with Quran in Ramadan, and as it and when it is over, it's like Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah. It's over. It's like فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? In huwa illa dhikrul lil alamin. This is a reminder for mankind. Again, you see, it was annas and lil alamin, for everything. It's a reminder. For whom? Liman sha'a minkum an yastaqim. For the one who wants to walk straight, talk straight, think straight, walk straight. For them, this Quran is a reminder of the purpose of why he was created or she was created, of the purpose why he is here, and what will be the thing he should do to be successful in this life, so that the success carry forwards to the hereafter. So this is a very strong call of the Quran which says, فَأَيْنَ تَذْهَبُونَ? Where are you going? Like if people are ignoring it, those who are reciting it, and they are just reciting it for the sawab, here it's saying, فَأَيْنَ إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرٌ لِلْعَالَمِينَ. There are several reminders and admonitions in it. So come back to it. Okay. Then these are the approaches Quran is telling us. One is to take it as a healing for the heart, and guidance, and uh, mercy, and then admonitions and lessons from it. Now, Quran says, وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ. وَلَقَدْ. All three things are like, emphatically saying, La is like Lam Taqid, Qad is like already. Indeed, already God is saying He has made Quran easy. Yes, sir. Na. Whenever there is a shadda, you see the W sort of thing sign. Whenever there is a shad, that it means that's emphatic. Yusr is easy. Yes, sir. Very easy. The Quran is made very easy. Zikr. For what? What is zikr? It means for understanding, for memorizing, and for admonition, receiving lessons and admonitions. For all three. Li zikr means for understanding, for memorizing. You see, there are millions of memorizers of the Holy Book, although Arabic is not their mother tongue. But even you can search Google and check, even the Chinese, the Japanese, the Russian, the African, the American, name the countries, there are memorizers of Holy Quran, although it's not their mother tongue. A 600-page book gets memorized. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ فَهَلْ مِن مُدَّكِرٍ. Is there anyone who wants to take this admonition? You want to take lessons from it? It's like a question. It's like the it's like a rhetoric. Is there anyone who will take admonition? It's so easy from your creator. So this should be the approach when we and go towards Quran. keep out that thought from your mind that it is difficult. It's very easy. Like at least what is recited to us is understandable. When you do ponder and reflection, that's a different thing. Pondering, tadabbur, and tafakkur are different. We are talking of understanding. As I'm speaking to you in English language, and you're able to understand that, this is what is being told. That's easy to understand what is being told, what is being talked about is easy to understand. Pondering reflection is our higher level, second level, but at least you know, you need to understand what is being told to you. Like, O Budu Rabbukum, worship your Lord, Alladhi khalaqakum, He, the one who created you and the one before you, the one who spread this earth as stable and put the sky as canopy and send down the rain. These are all understandable language. Like nobody did this except God. Nobody can do it also. Put the rain, put the sky as the canopy, and this earth is a stable place to live in. Subhanallah. وَلَقَدْ يَسَّرْنَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلذِّكْرِ. So all these three things to understand, to memorize, and to take admonition is easy from the Quran. So now my third approach towards the Quran is, am I taking all three things? Am I trying to memorize a bit part of it? Am I trying to understand it? Am I trying to take admonitions from it? And there are several places where Quran takes and tells, like, this is an admonition for those who believe. This is for those who think. Okay. The fourth approach Quran is telling us, afala yatadabbarun al-Quran, and do not they think deeply on Quran. See, dabara in Arabic means the back. So when you take something like a mobile phone or something, like say you're going to purchase an iPhone, so what do? You turn back, front, and you open. You say it's China or please blah blah blah. So that kind of deep delving is like dabara, tadabbur. So afala ya tadabbarun al Quran. Don't they think deeply in the Quran? Am ala kulubin akfaluha, or there are locks over their heart, or are their hearts locked? Now, this question akfaluha is like, you have a lock, I have a lock. Everybody who reads the Quran has a lock of its own, of his ignorance, the lock of busy, the lock of busyness, the lock of it's not my language, the lock of it's not my cup of tea, the lock of, you know, jahiliya, I should say. Everybody has their own locks that I don't want to approach it. Like we are saying, the approach, the Quran is giving us the approach, that approach it, that it is a guidance for mankind, it's a shifa for the heart, it's the mercy for the believer. It has lessons in it. It has zikr in it. It's an admonition in it. And now it is saying, are there locks over your heart? I mean, it's a very direct question. It was done to the Quraysh Makkah who were opposing the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And Allah is asking, Afala yatadabbarun al-Quran. Do not they ponder, or there are locks over their heart. Now this Akfaluha is now this individual locks. I have some locks. I need to open the. I know those locks that are stopping me from understanding the Quran. They are stopping me from reflecting upon Quran. They are stopping me to implement it in my life. I have my locks. You have your locks. We need to open those locks and then delve deep. This is one of the approach Quran is saying, that open those locks and approach Quran in a way that it guides you, it brings mercy in your life, blessings in your life, and rahmah in the hereafter. One more. How does the Sahaba Karam, the one who was the direct recipient from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, dealt with Quran? Like, how was their approach to the Quran? If we put some thing on that, if we study some aspects of their life, we will know how the Quran influenced them, how they implemented it, and how they benefited from it, and how those things are recorded for us, for posterity, for people to know those who implement how they succeed. Here it is one of the thing, one of the ayah from Surah Hujurat. It's on the social aspect or the morality aspect of people, or the social aspect of people, or we can say the stature of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When this ayah was revealed from Surah Hujurat, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tarfa'u aswatukum fawqa sawtin nabi. Oh, you come to believe, raise not your voice above the voice of the Prophet. One thing, that is one thing. Second, even when you're talking among yourself, Allah, wala tajharu lahu bil qawli kajahri ba'dakum li ba'd. Nor speak aloud to him in a talk as you speak to each other. In his presence, don't speak loudly. Secondly, when you are speaking to him directly, do not speak as if you're talking to some of your friend. You pitch your voice, you lower it, you pitch it. No. Why? Because this un is saying the condition. What happens? That tahbata a'malukum. Habd is like multiplying something by zero in mathematical language. Habd is multiplying something by zero. As we learned in the first screen, that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said every recitation of the alphabet of Quran fetches 10 reward. So Alif Lam Mim are not one word, it is three different letters, and every letter is fetching. So we are accumulating hundreds and millions and billions of rewards every day. But here it says that if you speak louder to in the presence or to the Prophet, it will be multiplied by zero. وَأَنْتُمْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. And you will not even perceive it, that it has happened. Okay. Now, when this ayah was revealed, Hazrat Umar, who was very vocal and talking, he became silent. He started remaining silent and talking very less in presence of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Then he asked, what happened, Ya Umar? Why are you so silent nowadays? He said, like, I fear that my voice might pitch and I might be dealt this way, that it will be multiplied by zero. Like all my good deeds will go away. Like so much conscious were these people who were given glad tidings of paradise already. They were given the glad tidings of paradise, and they were still very conscious of this. And one of the Sahabi, he stopped coming to the masjid, and Rasulullah asked for him, and he said that, Ya Rasulullah, my natural tone is very high. And even if I speak, it would look like that I'm raising my voice. And that's the reason I'm not coming here to the masjid. Then he said that what is natural is natural. This is all about the behavior and the way you uh, uh, be there in front of Rasulullah Sallallahu. It has a background to the ayah. We'll not go into that. Secondly, when this ayah of interest and alcohol was revealed, we know what happened. Like the Sahaba Karam who were in those days, the alcohol was a uh, very expensive commodity, very expensive commodity. Like brewing it and keeping it, and it was given to the guest as a great honor, because it was kept that way, and it was a very expensive commodity. But when the ayah came and it was declared that Rustum min amri shaitan, stay away from it, and it's an act of shaitan, the streets of Medina were flowing from alcohol, and everybody threw those pots that they were storing it. Similarly with interest, we know. So the implementation of the ayah when it came was direct. They did not say we'll do it later, we'll do it this month, or we'll do after some time, or let me finish my interest amount, or collect my interest amount, and then I will not take instead hereafter. No, period. This was the implementation of Quran. One more ayah we will say talk about how Sahaba Ikram approached was that lan tanalul birra hatta tunfiqu mimma tuhibbun. It says lan means you can never. It's like it's not going to happen. Tanalul birra, you can never reach good or goodness. Bir is like the height of goodness. Hatta tunfiqu, unless you spend. Mimma tuhibbun, what you love, not what is lying in your cupboard for months and it's not fitting you. You give those clothes, or we give those clothes in the charity. What is lying and some like it's like too much now, let's give it in charity. We have to buy new things for our closet, so let's put it in the charity. Mimma tuhibbun, what you love. So what we have from this ayah is that one of the Ansari who had a beautiful garden of date near Rauna, if I am not mistaken, he came to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and he said, Ya Rasulullah, you know how productive is this garden for me. I give it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You have the full authority to disburse it. Rasulullah said, no, give it to your relatives in need. And he did it this way. So, mimma tuhibbun, wama tunfiqu min shay'in, and there's nothing that you spend in charity, for inna Allah bihi alim. Allah knows what you spent. What intention was there to give that 1 riyal for charity? What was that intent behind? Allah knows well. So Allah is making it very clear. Now, when we say that Sahaba Karam had that approach of Sami'ana wa Ata'ana, now Quran is telling me that when I approach the Quran, I should have this Sami'ana wa Ata'ana. When Allah is commanding me, Ya ayyuhallazina amanu, ku anfusakum wa ahlikum nara. Save yourself and your family from fire. He is commanding. It's an amar. Kul. Say. How many times is kul? Kul. Kul. It's an amar to the one who is listening. Kul hu Allahu ahad. Allahu samad. Say that. Say that to people. That Allah is one. He is self-sufficient. He neither begot nor he was begotten. He neither begets nor he was begotten. وَلَمْ يَقُلْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. There's nothing in this universe, multiverse, or whatever words you call it, that can be compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So there are, we get direct instructions, we get direct warning. Latus alunna yawmaidhin anin naim. Surely, surely, surely we will ask you about the ni'mah that we have bestowed upon you. And the ni'mah that we have in terms of food itself, clothing, AC house, AC car, AC masajid, everything. We like in ta'uddu ni'matallahi la tuhsuha. If you were ever to count the blessings of Allah, you'll never be able to do it. Innal insana la zalumun kaffar. Indeed, the man is zalim in that sense that he does not give the honor that should be given to a thing. Like he brings the creator to the level of creation, or takes the creation to the level of creator. Zaluman kaffar here is ungrateful, ingrate. Subhanallah. So here one more approach we are learning is that as the Sahaba Karam was doing Samiyana wa Ta'ana, we need to do Samiyana wa Ta'ana. When we are listening to the Quran in our Salah 3 times in the Jahari Salah, we need to implement it. If people around us who do not know Arabic, who do not know what is being just recited by the Imam, we can spend 5 minutes with them immediately after the prayer, and at least one ayah we can tell them that this is what was the message from the Rabb, from the creator of the heavens and the earth. People just pray, listen, go. Pray, listen, go. Pray, listen, go. This is the cycle going on. Like people who understand, they also go. People they don't understand, they also go. But they are there. But let's take this as Samyana Atana, that whatever is being recited, at least the expatriates who are not aware of this language or what is being told, like if there's a warning, if there's a glad tiding, let's share with people. If there's a purpose being said in the Quran, what is the purpose of your life? Okay? If that wama khalaqtul jinna wal insa illa liya'budun, if that ayah comes, let us spend 1 minute, just 1 minute. Oh man, oh people, oh the Musalliyan. Just now, what Imam recited was after the prayer, you can say that in that one ayah that Allah created us illa liya'budun. So let us make this kind of, let us bring that change. It's this, according to me, it's no innovation. It is like you're trying to help people to understand the message of the Quran that is being delivered day in and day out, 3 multiplied by 352 uh, 356 days plus your Juma khutbah. All is Mau'izatum. Like Juma khutbah ends with the instruction. It ends with an instruction. What is that? Inna Allah ya'muru bil adl. Allah orders you. He is not requesting you. He is ordering you. Inna Allah ya'muru bil adl. Oh, people who have come from various small society to this small mosque to this big mosque. When you go back to your areas, Inna Allah ya'muru bil adl. Go and deal with justice with people. Wal ihsan. Ihsan is more than what is equal. وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى. Give to your dear ones. Of إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَأْمُرُ بِالْعَدْلِ وَالْإِحْسَانِ وَإِيتَاءِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ وَالْمُنكَرِ وَالْبَغْيِ. And stop. Give order to stop fahash, immorality, munkar, wrong, and baghi, rebellion. Every Friday we get this. Instructions and command and amr from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, what is our approach to the Quran? It should be this, that if I'm able to do 3 things to do and 3 things to stop. Allah is commanding us 3 things to do. Ya'muru bil adl, ihsan, wa ita'i qurba. Start doing at least one of them. Start doing at least one of them. Start with us. Let's start individually, and then it can, spread out. So let's see what's the step that can change us, the approach that we need to do. First, we need to understand Quran. Read the Quran with understanding. If not directly with the language, at least through translation of whatever language, because even translations, 99% of them are same. Okay, few of them may have some interpretation for few of the topics, but all of them speak the same translation. At least if you cannot learn the Arabic, let us learn the translation. Read it with a strong belief that it's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it is proven beyond doubt that it is divine. The structure, the style, the narrative, the historical, the scientific, the psychological, all the aspects discussed in Quran are beyond human understanding. I mean, beyond, like nobody can say that it is a human thing. Somebody has fabricated this. Somebody is talking. It's beautiful. I mean, those who have done, you can read about Gary Miller, the way he approached the Quran and the way he completely, the guidance from the Quran changed him. And he wrote several books about the scientific miracles in the Quran, even the psychological aspects of it. Uh, Submit to the teaching over your opinions. Most of the time when we have a position in the society, we have some some rutba, some kind of stature. We are some wali, or we are some the head of the family, or we are some MLA or some minister or anything. We have our opinion and we do not submit to the teaching, and we say no, it's 7th century. Subhanallah. Like when you say you have a strong belief from divine, so it's for posterity. Okay, he knows, we don't know. So submitting yourself. Feel a sense of closeness to Allah. when reading it. Okay, when you we know the poet of the East, Allama Iqbal, his father used to say, uh, "Son, read Quran as if it is revealed to you. Like when you're reciting it, think that the revelation is coming to you directly. That kind of closeness one need to feel when is reciting. Feel the sense of fear. The taqwa defines that, the sense of fear when rereading the verses of the punishment, the divine punishment, okay, of the hereafter, the belief in hereafter. Because the Quran says about the belief in hereafter that wabil akhiratihim yuqinun. They believe in after, believe in the hereafter is of yaqeen, is not belief only. It's conviction. There's conviction that there is a life after this life. There is a conviction that the life does not end here, it starts from the death. The death brings end to this life. No, it is like intakal and muntakil. With the one who is entering, it's entering into a different zone. Okay, it's the beginning of life, which is not going to end. This life of this world ends, but it starts a new life, a life of the hereafter. Feel a sense of inclinations towards doing good that it invites to. So always feel that whatever good you are doing, basically you are doing it for yourself. The Quran is very clear on that. Woman jahada innama yujahidu li nafsi. Whoever strives for himself or herself. Man is including from Adam to the last person on this planet. Woman jahada innama yujahidu li nafsi innallaha ghaniyun alil alamin. Indeed, God is free of any want from us. So that sense of inclination of doing good is actually for ourselves, for the family. As I said, ku anfusukum wa ahlikum nara is like save yourself and your family. You see, in the plane also they say when the air drops, when the oxygen drops, first put the mask for yourself and then for the. So this is what we need to understand. Save yourself and your family. So when we approach the Quran in this way, what Quran is telling us how to approach it, there will be success. The takeaway from today's lesson is that I will learn to read the Quran beautifully with tajweed, because definitely it makes difference. Alim with a alif and alim with a ain is different. If you both if you recite as Alim Alim, is one is painful and one is all knowledgeable, all knowing. So let us learn to read Quran with correct tajweed, because that does we do not compromise when we are doing English. Like if I say I am walking and talking, everybody will laugh because I'm not speaking with tajweed. If I say I'm walking and talking, nobody minds. If I say I'm walking and talking, as it is written, they'll say, "Oh, you don't know English," because I don't know the English of tajweed of English, walking and talking. So let's learn Quran to recite Quran beautifully. Warattilil Qurana tartila, in a rhythmic way, in a slow way, in the correct tajweed. I read Quran by understanding its meaning. Even if I do not do any small course to understand it, definitely I'll do it by translation. By the way, I'm running a free course on Understand Quran the easy way on Sunday, Thursday, and Tuesday and Thursdays, 1 hour in the evening, Muscat time 8:30 to 9:30, wherein we learn to uh, learn the vocabulary and grammar of Quran, and we learn by that. So anyone who wants to join can definitely approach, and we can do this. I'll implement its lesson. It's the guidance is for implementation, right? See, when we recite, we get sawab, we get reward. When we understand, we get guidance. When we implement, we get najat, salvation. So these are the three stages. We are now stuck in stage one. Read, reward, read, reward, read, reward. Understand, implement. Understand, get the guidance. Understand, get the guide. Third, implement and attain for salvation. Check, go for salvation. That is what we should have the approach. I'll preach what I learn. Whatever you learn from the Quran, ballighu anni walau aya. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, convey from me even it's one verse. One verse. One verse. Qul huwallahu ahad. Convey it to others. In the light of the Quran, I'll try to establish and change myself, family, neighborhood. It is stepwise. First self, and then family, and then the relatives, and then it goes stage wise. For this, I'll seek continuous help from Allah. Without Allah's help, nobody can. Iza jaa nasrullah, iza jaa nasrullahi wal fath. So that Nasr, that fath came after 23 years. That fath came after 23 years of hard struggle, blood, money, family, sacrifice. Everything went in that path. And we want overnight. I do dawa, next day people will become, they'll accept it, and khalas. Alhamdulillah. It's long struggle, and it never comes without the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So whatever I said here, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make me and make you, the listeners, listen to it and implement it in their life. Wa akhiru dawana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. If there's any question, I'll definitely answer it relating to the topic. Thank you so much.
A quick one, Sheikh. Where do you do this? Is it online or you sitting somewhere?
Yes, I do online. I do it on Zoom.
Okay, maybe you can just share it with the group. You can
I'll share
share
in
the
the
link.
IIC group the timings and the link. Yes,
Thank you
there's a
very much.
course material to it. There are 5 steps to it, 5 courses to it. So I've started with course 1, then 2, 3, 4, 5. It definitely at least helps to understand what we are listening in the salah.
Jazakallah khair.